All right, let's build. So today, I don't know if you guys saw, we released a week ago a realistic $1,000 gaming PC for 2026. That was our strongest start to a video, long-form video, in the history of ZTT, man. You guys gobbled that up. I think that's almost at 200,000 views, and it's been out for like 5 days. That's really, really good for us. Outdated? No. That one's still good. That is like one of 2, maybe 3 videos that are not outdated. So today, we're going to do the same exact thing. A 100% repeatable, realistic build guide for 2026. You can literally follow this right now for $750. The cool thing is my parts total was actually 740. So we're under the target mark of 750. So without further ado, this CPU we have for our $750 realistic build guide is not the Ryzen 5 5600 like it should be. It is instead the Ryzen 5 5500. Before the RAM shortage and the SSD shortage, this very easily should have been a 5600. We all know that. But since we got to pay a kidney for the RAM and some other organ for the SSD, we have less money to work with. So this is one of the drawbacks that we have to make. Still a great CPU, don't get me wrong, but it's not as good as it should be. We got 5500 for the motherboard. We got whatever the most affordable micro ATX B550 that you can find. This is the MSI B550M Pro VDH Wi-Fi. I don't get the absolute cheapest B550 because those have like 2 RAM sticks, not a like a VRMs. This one's at least one of the better, but still budget B550s. And this one actually has built-in Wi-Fi. I'll pay a little bit extra for that. For the RAM, haven't used this for a while, but this is some YOLO DDR4 right here. This is a 16 gigabyte DDR4 kit, clocked at 3200 megahertz, and we actually got a CL16 rating. This is exactly what you're looking for when it comes to DDR4 RAM, 3200 or higher, and CL16. This is actually exactly what we were looking for. How much did I pay for it, you may ask? $100. How much did this cost 4 months ago? Like 45. Okay. As we know, RAM is absolutely atrocious right now, but you still can get 16 gig DDR4 kits, at least here in the States, for about $100 very easily. This is what I featured in the $1,000 realistic build guide. By going down to DDR4 and by going down to 16 gigs, that's the only way that we can make builds like this possible. Same exact thing for the $1,000 build guide. Previously, 4 months ago, in a $1,000 build, we were getting a 32 gig DDR5 kit. We are now down to 16 gig DDR4 kits. We have gone down tremendously, obviously, but the builds are still possible if that's what you do. Okay, that is a 2x8 gigabyte kit. For the SSD, this is even worse, man. This is literally the cheapest 1 terabyte SSD that I could find on the market whenever I was searching. This is a King spec. Pretty sure this is Gen 4, though. It might be Gen 3. Hold on, see if I wrote it down. Gen 3. This mofo costs more than the RAM. This is a 1 terabyte Gen 3. I paid $114 for it. $114 for one. Dude, we got $214 of our $750 budget in just this. Absolutely atrocious. But we can still make a competent gaming PC. You guys know what power supply I'm going to use. I got a bunch of them. This is still available on Newegg for $40. This is a Tier C Raid Max Cobra Power. ATX 3.1, 650 watts, 80 plus gold, Pice 5.1, $40. I got mine for $35. It's currently on Newegg for $40. Great for budget builds like this. For the case, we've been using this a lot. I haven't used it yet, but we've been using this for ZTT builds. Some of my employees have been talking highly of this little tiny micro ATX case. This is the DarkFlash DB330M. $65. Oh yeah, Halifax is excited. This has been on the market for a while, man. This is not new. I have never used it, but some of my guys said that they like it, so we started buying a bunch of them. We even have a new pre-built coming out soon that uses this case because they're fans of it. For $65, it comes with 3 pre-installed ARGB fans, USB-C, all black, very clean. It is cheap. That is very, very, very cheap metal here. This is not the Lee & Lee V100R Mini. I would have loved... That's a much better case, but we can't use the same thing over and over again. This thing is tiny. All right? I'm a little concerned. Good thing we're not using cable extensions. I'm a little concerned about fitting everything in here. That is super tiny and compact. But for $65, let's do it. And then when all that's said and done, pretty much everything that I just said is a non-negotiable for a $750 build. And that comes out to a total of about $500, okay? If you're trying to build a budget gaming PC using all new parts here in the States, that $500 is pretty much a minimum. Like, if you want to go cheaper than that, you got to get, what, a 500 gig SSD? Maybe switch to Intel and get like a 12100F. Maybe. I don't know how much. I don't even know if that would be any cheaper. There's really not many places to go cheaper than what I just said. We have that $500 like foundation to a gaming PC that's kind of a non-negotiable at this point. So, if you're building a $750 gaming PC, you got $250 left. And what is the best $250 graphics card on the market right now? It's the Intel Arc B580 with 12 gigabytes of VRAM. And this guy still plays 1440p. It's pretty impressive. If you have a little bit more money, yeah, not sponsored by the way, thank you. Not sponsored at all. If you have a little bit more money, then 8 gigabyte 9060 XT is objectively better. That would make it an $800 build. But if you only have $750, then this is the best $250 that you can spend on a brand new GPU right now. So that's going to round out our build. Here we go. We got our MSI B550M Pro VDH Wi-Fi. My videographer did unbox everything because he always films the parts by themselves. So this isn't an authentic first time unboxing experience, but like, I mean, he doesn't open up everything. I don't know what happened here on the box though. That's looking a little sus. What was he doing? I don't know about that. I'll have to ask him about that one. But otherwise, this looks legit. Here we go. We're gonna build on top of our motherboard box per usual. We're gonna pull out our IO shield so we don't forget that. We will definitely need that later. And the first thing we're gonna do is open up this Ryzen 5 5500. Not only is this pretty good value, this is a $75 CPU, man. The CPU price to performance by itself is very good. That's why I use the 5500 a lot. But don't forget, we are also getting the hidden value of having a perfectly capable CPU cooler to go along with it. This is the Wraith Stealth cooler. We got the thermal paste pre-installed here. We do have to pick up and rotate this thing, which we're gonna do now. But 75 bucks for a solid budget CPU and the CPU cooler. I mean, that just screams value. Okay, here's our 5500. How was meeting Tech Joyce? Interesting. How many of you guys follow Tech Joyce? She is I think mostly a vertical, like short form video creator. She does both PC building and she does a lot of car modding content. Spent the day with her at the the Linus collab that we did a while ago. Couple people. I do from time to time. I watch her shorts. She's low-key good at badminton. Yeah, her and Linus were talking about it. Didn't get to see either one of them play, but it sounds like they're both good. Who are we talking about? Tech Joyce. Alright, here's our net worth with the YOLO kit. I actually used to use this YOLO kit in almost every build. There was like probably like a 1-year phase where this was just without a doubt the cheapest RAM kit on the market. This was probably 2 or 3 years ago now. I haven't used it for a while, but whenever I was searching for this build, it just happened to be the cheapest available option. So let's see what this ASMR is sounding like these days. I'm a little rusty with the YOLO. Wow. Very clean and solid. It wasn't even like too quiet. It had a thump to it. No extra clicking. But that thing just like, boom, I'm in. It's pretty solid, man. Yeah, crisp. Yes, exactly. Crisp is the perfect word for it. See if this one's crispy as well. Nah, see, that one wasn't crispy. That one had a little extra sound to it, but not bad. Thankfully, this motherboard has, what's it called? Oh my god, a heatsink. That's not even the word I'm looking for, but that'll work. To cover up this atrocious... Look, dude, what were they thinking, man? Heat shield. That'll work too. NVMe heatsink, that'll work too, man. Dude, we got options. We got options, and we definitely need them because it's probably the ugliest SSD I've ever seen in my life. I like the King spec. Says Trail Tech, why do you like the King spec? What do you like about the King spec? Other than it's the cheapest available option right now. And if that's the only thing you like, that's valid. Alright, so this is our heat shield, heat sink, NVMe heat protection. We're going to remove that so it actually does its job. And then we will install like this. This is how I've been explaining it to my 6-year-old, because I guess this is a little bit confusing. It doesn't install, like it won't even go in if you do it directly like this. You have to install it at an angle, and then you just line up the lanes here. There's a long side and a short side, obviously. It will only go in one direction. You line that up with the... See if I can find the right angle here. The long and short side of the connector here. But you do install it at an angle like this. And then before you push it down and screw it in, this is the angle that it's installed in, if you can see that. That's normal. And then you just put the heat shield on top of it, and the screws of the heat shield will keep it down. Sometimes you latch it down before the heat shield goes on there. Just all depends on the motherboard. For this one, you just install the screws on the heat shield, and that'll keep that SSD down in place. Bend the SSD? No, thank you. No, I don't want to do that today. There we go. So the SSD is installed. One other thing we got to do is we want to remove these plastic bridges. Our CPU cooler will not be able to install if these are on here. There are a select few CPU coolers that actually use these bridges. I would say the rate is probably like 95% of them do not use them. So you have to remove it. I would still hang on to them. We'll put those in the, and then the back plate, that's what attaches the back plate, so that comes off. But we do need that. Just put those back in the motherboard box in case if you do need them one day. I'm gonna put my back plate back through here and then try to sit it down right on there. Before we can install the CPU though, or the CPU cooler, I've explained this probably 600 times in the history of ZTT, but if I was to install this, it would either be lined up with the AMD logo like this, or it would be like this. This is not a square, this is a rectangle. I can't just install it like that with the logo up. I think both of these options look very stupid. So I'm going to go through the process of rotating it 90 degrees. That way that AMD logo can be on the top. I'm going to try not to break it. Some of these are very tricky these days. These newer versions have actually been becoming increasingly difficult to remove. They don't even have screws on it. Oh my god, this is actually a really tough one. There we go. Gotta pop that off. And that gives me access to the 4 screws, which attach the fan assembly to the heatsink itself. That way we can we'll uninstall all 4 of these screws, we'll rotate it 90 degrees, and then we will reinstall it back on there so we can get that logo up top. Love the stock cooler. I mean, it works, especially for a 5500. I mean, the stock cooler works for a 5600 too, no problem. Pretty good value. It's actually aesthetically pleasing as well. You guys got to realize, there was a point in time, tell me if you guys were here for it, there was a point in time where all stock CPU coolers, whether it was for Intel or AMD, were super ugly. Like, when Ryzen first generation came out back in 2017, it was a big deal that the stock cooler came, like, looking nice. Who all was building PCs back then remembers appreciating it? Like, it was a very welcome feature that the stock cooler didn't look terrible. The Intel one was like that light blue for so many years. Compared to the Intel stock cooler, AMD looks so much better. Intel did eventually make a pretty decent one. It was still light blue with that ring around it, but I mean that one looked pretty sharp. The flimsy ones, yeah, the ones from Intel, you could break them just looking at it the wrong way. Intel before 12th gen stock cooler is just not it. Yeah, exactly. You couldn't paint them. At least not reliably. Like these you can very easily paint. I've painted literally hundreds of these. You just remove this and then you only paint this outer shroud. Leave the fan black. I don't want to paint all that. I've painted, I mean, literally hundreds. Probably 200 to 300 of these little plastic shrouds over the years. Just such an easy modification. But now that I rotated that, now we can just put that back on there, and now our AMD logo can be installed upright, because we're not animals. We would never install them sideways. It does have thermal paste pre-installed. I'm gonna switch out my screw bit before I do that. And then I'm just gonna line up all of these screws here with that back plate that we were talking about earlier behind the motherboard. I'm gonna keep that firmly pressed down so we don't spread any thermal paste. Gonna get a couple turns on that corner. Go to the opposite corner, get a couple turns over there, and then just repeat that process until they're all halfway on, and then I'll screw them all on, and we'll be good to go. Zach, a screw just fell out. That was my bit of my screwdriver. That was my screwdriver bit, but I grabbed it. We're good. Okay. All 4 of those screws are good to go. Now we just need to take our PWM connector, which is right here. On motherboards, there will always be a CPU fan connector. This is what they look like, if you haven't seen this up close. It's just a 4-pin. Hold on, I know you can't see that. There we go. Just a 4-pin. It's labeled as CPU fan. It's the one closest to the CPU. We're just going to plug that in. It can only fit in one direction. And then we'll take this extra... We're not going to leave this extra cable just hanging there. Again, we're not animals. We're just going to hide that in between the RAM slot and the CPU cooler. And then after that, we are all good to go. Our motherboard is fully prepped. We got the MSI B550M Pro VDH Wi-Fi. A Ryzen 5 5500 with the stock CPU cooler on there. We got a YOLO 16 gig 3200 megahertz DDR4 kit with a CL rating of 16. And we got a King spec 1 terabyte Gen 3 NVMe on here. You should get another beer. Dude, I think that might be a good idea, man. What are you trying to say? Looking clean? Is this an all black build? It's gonna be black and RGB, yeah. But yeah, that motherboard is prepped. Now we can start prepping our power supply. We got our PICE, non-modular PSU. Oh, you made the RGB lights on your PC smoother. Nice. Yeah, I I worked really hard on that, man. It took a long time. I had to bust out the I had to get on the support phone with it. What? Dude, I didn't touch my PC. What are you talking about? The lights are smoother. There might be, I almost said 6, but that's not even close to accurate. There might be 3 people in the chat that I actually trust. And even those people I don't really trust. Not for something like that, at least. Go watch it. We might have to run an instant replay of that one, man. Signal RGB update? If it was not a forced, or it was a forced update. I didn't allow any updates. Doesn't even trust mods. Definitely not you, Trail Tech. No, I've caught you red-handed rage baiting me. It was skipping. I just went back and checked. I don't believe you. There's no way you did that. Okay, what do we got to do here, man? We're gonna pull out all the cables that we need. What's our GPU? Okay. So we need that. We need the 6+2. We need the 24 pin. Wait, was that a 6+2? Yeah. And we need a 4+4 for the CPU. And then we may or may not need some SATA power, so we'll leave that over there. Everything else will get bundled up with some zip tie action, because this is a non-modular power supply. And when you're using a non-modular power supply, especially in a super tiny case like this, yeah, we're gonna need a lot of those tonight. I can feel it. We want to start doing everything we can to make sure this doesn't turn into a rat's nest of cable management. Boom. All right. Power supply is now prepped and ready to go. All right, let's start building. Let's get out our DarkFlash micro ATX case here. See what this thing's all about. Like I was saying in the intro, Some people at ZTT are pretty happy with this budget $65 micro ATX. Oh my, it's really tiny. Even for a micro ATX case, it is super compact. This is going to be a dense build. But they seem pretty happy with it. And when I introduced this on the stream earlier, feel like several of you were happy with it. So let us check. Oh my God, really? You guys like this? Oh, dude, I don't know if I can do that, man. What? Dude, that is tiny. That is barely any room. Where am I supposed to put the cables? I mean, it's doable. Oh my God, wow. Some people, some of the guys at ZTT are building PCs with this using cable extensions. That's kind of wild now that I see this in person or up this close. I feel like this would be a tough build with cable extensions. Thankfully, we are not doing that tonight. Wow. That is not a lot of room for cable management. Get out of here? What are you talking about, man? This is objectively a small well, it's still above average, yes, but it's still respectable. Hold on, let me see if I think I have to install some motherboard standoffs real quick. Let me check this out real quick. Yeah, okay. I gotta install 2 standoffs. Best CPU and GPU of all time? Oh man, DarkFlash doesn't even come with a standoff adapter. Wow. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I have not been very pleased with DarkFlash products lately. The case does not come with that little adapter thing to install a standoff. That's pretty wild. Like, they all do. That's why I have so many of them and usually throw them away. This little adapter that lets you use a Phillips screwdriver to install the standoff. I mean, that's budget cases for you. No, that's incorrect. Most budget cases have that. That is not a... No, I don't like that you said that. No offense. That is not something that budget cases do. This one did. But that is not a normal thing. They almost all come with that, man. That's a little obnoxious. That's DarkFlash for you? That's not even a good one. I gotta get a different one out here. Yeah, I don't know if I've been just getting like extremely unlucky with DarkFlash stuff over the past couple months or what's going on, man, but they've been disappointing me a little bit. Sometimes it's better to just buy a used case. No, I'm not gonna go that far. I don't remember the last time I bought a used case. That seems like a nightmare. That's how you get a case that doesn't have everything you need. Because people don't ever keep the accessories after they build. Okay. Alright, I got all the standoffs I need. 14900K and 3050. Come on, man. Yeah, those two are goated for sure. Let's install this motherboard, shall we? This is a very above average, but extremely tight fit here. And actually, before we do that, yeah, wow, that's very tight. Let's break off this PCIe bracket, shall we? There we go. All right, that's gone. because we got capacitors right there. So we don't want to break that off afterwards. Okay, now let's try to fit this. Sorry if you saw the bald spot there. Okay. There we go. We got standoffs everywhere. Yeah, we're good to go. Cheap case, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's cheap, but I mean, the guys at work like it, so I trust their opinion. Well, they said they like it for a budget case. It's not anything more than that, but is that Okanos? No, this is DarkFlash. Which RAM kit are you using? This is the YOLO 16 gig DDR4 kits. 3200 megahertz CL16, so it's actually perfect. Paid $100 for it. Bald spot, question mark, beauty spot. You know, I like what you did there, but if I got caught online calling it a beauty spot, I feel like I would lose a lot of subs. And probably mods too. Maybe even family member. Like I don't think I could pull that off, man. Calling it a beauty spot. Trail Tech says, reminder to chat. Nightbot will automatically delete messages in all caps. There you go. You're not losing me though? Wow. Thank you, man. That means a lot. Appreciate that. If we have enough supporters, maybe we do call it a beauty spot. Is this true? Says Hunter in all caps. Apparently not, man. Apparently not. Capmatic rating with 3 viewers. Thank you very much, Cap. Appreciate that, man. Hope all is well. Was that a dub raid by me? Clearly. I appreciate that, man. Asus has a feature that is like a 1-button click OLED burn-in cleaning thing. It took like 7 minutes. The burn-in completely gone. It worked on the very first round. It was amazing because I was panicking as well. So if you're gonna buy one, if you're gonna stress out about it, just make sure it has that type of feature, but also, you know, follow the basic principles of an OLED so you don't get burned in the first place. That was on my secondary monitor, which having a secondary monitor OLED is not a good idea because your secondary monitor, like mine, often just sits on the desktop or something static like Discord or something. So just do all the best practices for not getting burned in. Buy a high quality monitor. You'll be good to go, man. It's not nearly as bad as it was when OLEDs first came out. $1,200 secondary monitor is a flex. Dude, I did not pay for that, man. That was all from Asus. That is all from making videos and sponsorships or what have you. I would definitely not buy an OLED with my own money for a secondary display. No way, man. Not buying an OLED and having 5 in the house is a flex. Touche. Yeah, that one's valid. But I mean that is my job. All right, plug it in the connectors, USB, HD audio, power connector, USB 3.0, USB-C. Is the GPU market still cooked, or is it a good time to upgrade? It is getting cooked as we speak. If you see something that you like, I would buy it right this second, man. Yeah, we are. The GPU market is currently in the process of getting cooked. It is only getting worse. It will not be better. Use a modular power supply for that case for sure. Thanks, Trail Tech. Thanks for the the great wisdom after I already showed you that I don't have a modular power supply. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. I think we should just make our own GPUs. Dude, if you do, I'll buy it. I'll be your first customer. Zach Tech Turd says, Zach, are you a tech turd? I'm not gonna lie, man. I only see one tech turd in the chat right now. I only see one of them. Do you think if the 5070 Ti price will be raised? I mean, did you see my video about the 5070 Ti? It's not looking good, man. Is zip tie better than Velcro? There's pros and cons. Velcro, way easier to remove than a zip tie. If you need to, like, do an upgrade or, like, uninstall a part or whatever. A Velcro is safer because if you Velcro something down and then realize you want to add something else to that cable bundle, you could easily just unvelcro it. But the advantage of a zip tie is you can make that thing way tighter than a Velcro strap. And they're cheaper. Pros and cons. Yeah, the zip ties I'm using now are a little obnoxious. Okay, I tried to guess where these two connectors were coming out at. The PWM fan connector and the 3-pin ARGB. I guessed wrong on both of them. But it's under control. Okay, that's plugged in. And then I just need to plug in the ARGB connector, which did I lose it? Oh, there it is. It looks like all these fans did come pre-daisy chained, which is nice. But now I'm just figuring out how to route it to wherever the 3-pin ARGB connector is on my motherboard. And it doesn't appear that I have a good option because this cable really has to stretch. And I don't know if I have a good choice here. This might be... Oh, here we go. I can do it this way. I can plug it in down on this bottom right connector. Okay, that's plugged in. Now I just need to cable manage it. So that bundle was what's going down here. I'm going to use smaller zip ties for this one. What is your view on putting micro ATX or ITX boards in an ATX case? I hate it. I feel like I release a video like at least once every couple months saying why I don't like that. Zip ties could damage the wire? No? I mean... I don't really think so. I mean, there's a chance for anything to happen, but like, that's not something that I consider happening. You just tighten this thing down. That way the cables don't move. I don't think that's ever gonna happen. Numpty giving out 5 tier 1 gifted subs. Let's go. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. A twist tie can break your entire PC. I've seen it happen. Those twist ties that are made of metal, if that little rubber or plastic shrouding around the metal wire comes undone, especially if it's sitting back here on the back side of the motherboard, where some cable bundles are, that could short your entire motherboard, man. I've seen that happen firsthand, which is why I no longer allow twist ties in my builds. Yeah, that is definitely a possibility. But zip ties, I'm not too worried about zip ties, man. Okay. So all of this is good. That actually looks very nice and tidy. I don't know how much I can do over here, though. I could try bundling this up a little bit. Part of me just wants to, like, kind of let this hang down here. And then the power supply will keep it nice and hidden. I think that is actually what I'm gonna do. All those cables, yeah, that power supply is gonna come in here and, like, hide all of that. I think we're just gonna do that, man. You guys cool with that? Shove it behind the power supply? That's what I'm thinking. I don't think there's really a point in tightening those up. Alright. Let's install the PSU, shall we? We're gonna go face down. That way that fan can intake fresh air. Oh. Oh, I'm already worried about this bundle, though. Dude, this is a tiny case, my goodness. I'm already worried that this is gonna fit. Here, let me give you some... show you the action here, man. I'm worried that this is even gonna... because we got these cables hanging down here. Oof. That didn't feel amazing. But we got it. We got it. Let's install this. Yeah, that'll be okay. That's fine. Alright. Close call. Yeah, dude, that's a tight fit. If I knew ahead of time, I could have given you some info on this case. Yeah, I probably should have asked the guys at work that have been building it. The Great Pice PSU. Yeah, a modular power supply would have done wonders here, but I don't think I could have fit a modular power supply in this $750 realistic budget. I don't think that would have been possible. Your builders are trolling you? I mean, dude, they've built a lot of these already. We got a new pre-built launching with this case. Hopefully they're not trolling. That'd be one expensive troll. All right, I'm gonna put these excess cables in the HDD cage down here. The MSI A650GL semi-modular, yeah, I love that. That's typically one of the most affordable tier B modular PSUs, but I mean, on a good day, that's like what, 60, 65 bucks? I paid 35 for this guy. You're not gonna find a tier C modular power supply for 35 bucks, man. That won't be beat. Okay. Let's route this up for the CPU. When the 650GL goes on sale, I grab a couple. Yeah, that's a great option. I almost always on those build guide cheat sheets that I build for all of our build guide videos. The 650GL is almost always listed as an alternative power supply to use. Slightly more expensive, but much better. All right, we got that. Plug in the 24 pin. Dude, we're almost done, man. We are almost done. '24 is in. We didn't end up needing this SATA power cable, so I'll just tuck that under here. And then we just need the connector for our GPU. So let's unbox the GPU now, because I don't remember what this thing needs. Again, we had left over about $250 in our budget for our $750 gaming PC. How do you open this thing? And unarguably, dude, that, oh my god, they have such a good, I love this unboxing on this all black GPU. Watch this. This is going to be so clean. For $250, this is, I'm pretty sure, as good as a GPU can get right now. Oh, man. Oh, I love this. I think this is my third time unboxing this exact one. Look at, oh my god, that looks so good. This is, it's probably not a great place to grab it. There we go. This is probably as clean as a graphics card gets, ladies and gentlemen. I was so pumped when this thing launched, man. I mean, that is squeaky. Look at that side profile. It's just so good. Oh, man. Such a good looking graphics card. I love this thing, man. Bro, it's tiny. You watch your mouth. This is at least above average. The matte black looks amazing. Oh, it's so good, man. I love this thing. I love the side profile is my favorite. That just looks so good. You get the little white. That'll be a white light that turns on whenever we power on the PC. It looks really, really good. Yeah, that's great. Okay, we got a 4-pin with the pin on the bottom that we need for the power supply. The Pice comes with the double 6+2. I'm not sure if we'll be able to hide the second connector. I don't know if that'll be long enough. No, I don't think it will be. Big Blue with the $20 YouTube Super Chat says, been a little bit, but I am glad to be back. That is a beautiful you. What? That's a beautiful you. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I have been working on the beauty lately. Thank you. Thank you for the $20 super chat and the amazing compliment. Hey, he says you. He says that is a beautiful you. Y-O-U. He means GPU? I don't think so, man. That's not a typical typo. I mean, that would be 2 of the 3 letters wrong. I think he's just calling me beautiful, man. Come on now. Big Blue with the $20 super chat says that is a beautiful you and GPU. See? Dude, I was tracking. I was tracking that whole time, man. You didn't have to send another $20 to correct the chat. I knew what you meant. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. I also think it's a pretty decent looking GPU too. 9950 X3D and 5080 is my favorite. Dude, you guys talk about me flexing. Like, some of you just come out of nowhere. All right, let's cable manage before we install the GPU here. Because, oh boy, do we need to cable manage. Big Blue with another $20 YouTube super chat says, what do you think about the Steelers coach leaving? We also had that conversation, but since you asked nicely with money, I'll answer it again. My opinion, I mean, I'm happy. I'm not happy in a way that's like, oh man, I've been waiting for Mike T to get fired. I was never on that train. I think Mike Tomlin's worst fault, or one of his worst faults, was he hired very, very bad coordinators, offense and defense, over the years. He hired very bad ones. I feel like Tomlin could be a really solid coach still if he just had good coordinators, but unfortunately he doesn't know how to pick good coordinators, it seems. But I am genuinely excited for the completely new Steelers coaching staff next year. Like I said earlier, I feel like we're probably going to win the Super Bowl because of it. So yeah, I'm all for it, man. The Steelers offense has been awful since the triple Bs were all gone. Thank Vontez Burfict for that, man. The triple Bs died that night. I remember that night like it was... Dude, I'll never forget that night, man. Vontez Burfict with a very disgusting, cheap hit on Antonio Brown. Probably changed that dude's life forever. Alright, this is what the cable management looks like before the GPU goes in. You know, obviously we got everything down here. Oh, I guess I could clean... no, I don't really want to clean that up because I'm gonna run out of space. Maybe I could do this. Yeah, no, that's gonna be tough. I could do this. I could do that, and then I could do this. That might make it a tiny... No, I don't even know if that'll fit. There we go. Oh, nope, that didn't stay. I could do that. There we go. That looks a little bit cleaner. Alright. What do you think about Mike T going to Atlanta? I haven't heard that. I'm not even going to hop into that. I don't think Mike Tomlin's going to coach for at least one more year. Okay, let's install our GPU now. Again, we got the 12 gig Intel Arc B580. Oh man, it already looks beautiful inside of here. Whoo, that's clean. Let's get some screws in here to secure it down. Dude, that's looking... I know you guys can't really see it yet, but hold on. That's looking good, man. Very, very clean. I'm out of screws. Where did my... There it is. My power supply screw bag go. GPU sag? Come on, man. Dude, that, like... Don't... Come on, man. Don't be the type of person that just says GPU sag every time someone installs a GPU. That is as level gets. Put some... Dude, like, I don't care about me. Put some respect on the GPU, man. Dude, that is as straight gets. You dropped another screw? Come on, man. I'm so scared of GPU sag. Well, the good thing is it's easily fixable. So I wouldn't be scared. Come on, man. Underwear? Got him. GPU is too small? What? Alright. That's installed. Install this plate real quick. I messed that up. Do you ever tune into the meta streams? Yeah. I don't really talk in the meta streams, but I do tune in quite frequently. Just for like, you know, 2 minutes here or there. Just to see what they're working on, what they're yapping about. I don't talk all that often though. Big Blue with another $20 super chat says Rage Bait. I know, man. Okay, let's plug this in. Alright, that looks good. Slightly faster than me, but barely, right? As far as speed of PC building during live stream goes, I would say he might be like 1, maybe 2 minutes faster than me. Something like that. Okay. Alright. Everything's installed. I only have 3 additional screws. I'm sure that's fine. Going old school and just using one exhaust fan? What? Old school? Really? I don't know if I consider that old school, man. Alright, here's the final cable management look before I hide all of that away with this side panel. Honestly, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I'll give DarkFlash some credit where credit is due. That was not terrible. That would have been really tough with cable extensions. Thankfully, we were not using them. But boom. There is our stealthy all-black PC. Oh, and just for the record, those are exhaust fans up there. We got... This is a negative airflow setup case. So no, this is not old school. This is new school. This is 3 exhausts, no intake for a negative airflow setup. But let's not get too excited. Let's see if this thing turns on, man. Oh my god, what the... Why would it do that? That light just blinded me. Okay. Let's see what it's got. I won't be able to control the RGBs. Did you guys see that? I don't know what that looked like on camera. But that light right here, like, I mean, I'm touching this light right now. I'm literally touching it. It's right in my face. It went off because I accidentally unplugged it. And then it came back on 100%. You guys saw it? Yeah, that was legitimately blinding. I was not being over dramatic. All right, here we go. Bam. There we go. There's our stealthy, all black, $750 gaming PC there. Try not to judge the unicorn puke. We can change that. We will change that, but I can't do that right now. I will be making a YouTube video all about this. This is what I'm calling the realistic $750 build guide for 2026. If you were to copy this today, it would be right around $750. I paid $740, but it looks like the CPU is $15 more, so that would put you at $755, but I'm sure you can find a deal on like the motherboard or something.